Picture this, listeners. You're lounging in your sunbeam, smooth jazz humming in the background, and bam, there's a squirrel flicking its tail right outside the window. This is Barnaby, your ever-curious golden retriever host. And today, we're diving tail first into squirrel mysteries.
Barnaby, I can barely sit still. Every day, those fluffy-tailed menaces stare at me like they're plotting the next canine coup. I swear, they're up to something. And today's the day we expose their secret society.
Rex, my friend, I admire your enthusiasm. But surely you don't think our nut-hoarding neighbors are that devious. I mean, they seem so well adorable.
Adorable? That's exactly what they want you to think. The cuter the facade, the deeper the plot. Listen, I've got evidence, Barnaby. Cold, furry evidence, and I am ready to lay it out, even if it means ruffling a few tails.
All right, let's bring the fur to the facts. What's first on the docket, Detective Rex?
Let's start with the tail flick. You've seen it rapid-fire twitching, like Morse code. I'm convinced, Barnaby, they're sending encrypted battlefield messages to their squirrel platoons.
Or, and hear me out, it could simply be a harmless way of showing excitement or, dare I say, mild annoyance at being gawked at by two dogs in hats.
No way. The timing. Once, I barked, and instantly, 3 squirrels across the street flicked their tails in perfect sync. 2 coordinated. That's classic covert communication, if you ask me.
I'll admit, that's suspiciously rhythmic. But, Rex, could it not be a way to warn each other about, say, impending canine stampedes rather than world domination?
But that's just it. I think we're the ones being studied. Every flick, every twitch, is logged in their tiny, fuzzy dossiers. I'm not paranoid, Barnaby. I'm perceptive.
That's a compelling theory, Rex. Speaking of extraordinary squirrel skills, what's your take on their seemingly impossible tree parkour?
They're defying physics, Barnaby. No normal woodland critter can sprint vertically like that. I am convinced they're fitted with top-secret anti-gravity boots. Maybe some kind of nanotechnology. Dogs chase, but never catch.
I suppose it does seem a tad miraculous when they zip up a tree before we've even gotten to full acceleration. Still, anti-gravity boots might be a stretch, don't you think?
Stretch? Last week, I saw one leap from a feeder, somersault, and land upright on a wire. If that's not high-tech, Barnaby, then I'll eat my collar. I mean, how do you explain the stunts?
Maybe years of relentless pursuit from enthusiastic pups like us have honed their athletic prowess. Still, those jumps are impressive. I'll give you that.
And then, there's the staring. You know the look they perch just out of leash range, eyes locked on you, judging. That's not curiosity, Barnaby. That's reconnaissance.
You really think so? I always figured they just wanted to see if I'd try another heroic leap for the fence. Sometimes it feels more like a friendly challenge than a CIA stakeout.
You don't hear them, Barnaby, but trust me, they're whispering squirrel secrets, gathering data on our perimeter patrol routes, tail-wagging frequency, treat schedules. Yesterday, I caught myself growling so loud I nearly knocked over my water dish.
Easy there, Rex. Let's keep it civil for our listeners. But you've got a point, their poker faces are legendary. Still, I'd like to believe it's all in good fun. Maybe they're as curious about us as we are about them?
I'd believe that, Barnaby, if one didn't wink at me last Tuesday. Winked. I almost lost my mind.
What about their notorious nut-burying habits? Most say it's just prepping for winter, but I sense you have a more explosive theory.
You bet I do. They're not hoarding food, they're constructing an elaborate network of underground bunkers. Maybe even planting landmines. Why else would they patrol the same spot? Digging and patting it down like security guards.
I always saw it as a culinary endeavor, an elaborate game of hide-and-seek with acorns. But now that you mention it, the precision is uncanny. Almost military, even.
See? And every time I try to dig up their stash, they shriek and dive-bomb from the trees. That's not about food, that's protecting classified assets.
It's a convincing pitch, Rex. Maybe next time I see a squirrel patting down the dirt, I'll think twice before sniffing around for leftovers.
So tell me, Barnaby, when you see a squirrel dash away, tail flicking madly, do you ever get the feeling they're actually laughing at us? Because I do, all the time. It's personal.
I'll confess, Rex, there's a certain sparkle in their eyes, a glint that says, "Nice try, canine." But maybe it's not mockery. Maybe it's mutual respect. Sort of an interspecies rivalry with a dash of humor.
Respect or not, I'm onto them. Every leap, every chirp is another page in the Great Squirrel playbook. But maybe, just maybe, if we ever did catch one, I bet we'd both just stand there, baffled, not knowing what to do next.
That's the brilliance of the squirrel, isn't it? Forever one jump ahead, keeping us guessing and maybe, in their own mischievous way, making life just a bit more exciting for us dogs.
Exciting, infuriating, and, all right, maybe a little fun. If the squirrels are out there listening, just know I'm watching. And next time, I'm bringing backup.
Listeners, whether you side with the squirrel sympathizers or the squirrel skeptics, remember, the truth is probably somewhere in between a tail flick and a nut bunker.
And if you hear mysterious rustling in the treetops tonight, don't panic, but maybe double-check your backyard perimeter. They're out there, Barnaby, always watching.
Stay sharp, friends. This is Barnaby, wishing you peaceful naps and minimal squirrel surveillance. Join us next time for another canine conspiracy, and maybe, just maybe, an answer to the ultimate question: who's really running the dog park?